Hey, what's up everyone? Foxhounder N313 here. Alright, so the COO of Capcom made some comments about the Switch and about Street Fighter 2. He essentially said that Capcom would be observing how well Street Fighter 2 does on the Switch and determine how they're going to support the system in the future. Links in the description for this article so you guys can read it for yourselves. And this is something I've talked about before. The Switch having a big install base or being a popular system is not going to guarantee it long-term third-party support. The games that the third parties bring actually have to sell. And this is something I said in the beginning, that these third parties initially would bring over a lot of ports, remakes, remasters, whatever you want to call them, see how well they do, and then bring more games over. Now, some would argue that this isn't fair, and to some extent I would agree with that, but the Switch and Switch owners are having to pay for the sins of the past. Wii U gamers did not buy third-party games. There's various reasons for that, but at the end of the day, the third-party games on Wii U didn't sell, and the third parties remember, and they're very skittish about wanting to support the Switch with everything that they have right off the bat. They're going to stick a few games out there, look at the sales. If the games sell well, then you'll get more. That's how it's going to work. And you might say, well, Capcom games did really well on the 3DS, and that's true. But the Switch is a console. That's how Nintendo is marketing it. The Switch has console-like hardware, which means that the budgets for these games have to go up. And so if Capcom is going to make big budget games for the Switch like they do for other consoles, they want some reassurance that those games are actually going to sell well. They want some assurance that Nintendo gamers are actually going to support third-party games on this new console. Now, is Street Fighter 2 the best thing they could have done, Ultra Street Fighter 2? Probably not. But there was no way they were going to port Street Fighter 5 over to the Switch. And, the 3DS had a port of Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 4 is an old game also. I think Street Fighter 2 has more recognition among not just Nintendo gamers, but gamers in general. It's a classic title. People, just about anyone recognizes it. And look, I don't think they expect it to sell really, really well. They know that it's a remake. They know that it's an old game. So I don't think they're expecting 2-3 million in sales, but if the game could hit 1 million, then, that's something. And there's Nintendo gamers that go out and buy over $100 worth of amiibos that have limited to no functionality. So, spending $40 on an actual game doesn't seem like too tall of an order. I plan to pick the game up. And when I say spend over $100 in amiibo, I mean, overall, not just for one amiibo, obviously. But look, I want other games on Switch besides Nintendo first-party games. I want to have a variety of genres and franchises and, what have you on the Switch. And it's another month until ARMS, if you're even planning on picking that game up, which I'm kind of on the fence about it. But it's another month to that game, so you really don't have anything else to play in the meantime. So, $40 for a remaster of a classic game. Again, it seems like a fairly good deal. Could it have been cheaper? Yeah. I think people tend to compare it to other 2D games, indie games, and most of those are $10 to $20. But this is a AAA third-party publisher. You're not going to get a $20 game out of them. It was never going to happen. But look, aside from that, this is going to be the case with every single third-party game the Switch gets. Not every publisher or developer is going to say this, but this is going to be their attitude. They're going to look at the sales very closely and determine whether or not to throw more support to the Switch based on that. If their games don't sell, you're not going to get more of them. It's just as simple as that. And look, I think the game will do pretty well. I think, looking at something like Bomberman, for example, that's that's obviously a newer game, or it is a new game, not a newer game, it's a new game. And you could argue more effort was put into that, but it's still a very classic retro-esque title. And the game sold pretty well for what it was. And I think Switch gamers are more open to supporting third-party games. I hope I'm right about that. And this will be one of those examples where we'll find out. We'll see how well this does, and hopefully get more third-party games down the line. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to us if you haven't already, and stay tuned for more gaming news and discussions here on Dorks Like Us. This is Foxhounder signing off. God bless.